Hi friends, Terry Runyan here, visual artist and creative encourager. And it's been like forever since I've made a video because I've been really busy working on a new children's book. And this brought up some stuff for me that I thought I'd share with you guys because when we get on these long-term projects, sometimes we get to visit a lot of our inner critics and our conditioned thinking. So anyway, I've been working along on this book and had all kinds of thinking around, this is just too hard, this is taking too long, it feels not fun somehow because I'm putting all this pressure on myself. You know, the general comments that we make to ourselves that we kind of grew up with. And I was recently watching a Struthless video. I love this channel, it's very funny, but this particular video is a video called The 5 Questions That Changed My Life. And one of the questions in there in particular spoke to me and has been really helpful for me during this process of creating this book and just working in general and doing art. The question that's been so amazing to me is, what would it look like if this was easy? And that just astounded me because when we ask questions like that, our brain, as the Struthless guy says, starts working on the answer automatically. And my answers just started piling in. Well, this would be fun. I'd really enjoy it. The process would be smooth and fun and quick. So every time I go to work on the book now, I'm having this question in mind. And again, that question is, what would this look like if it was easy? So yeah, I just thought I'd give that to you guys because it was given to me. I'll link to Struthless YouTube video below. Today is Caturday. Every day's Caturday around here, of course, but it really is Saturday, which is Caturday at the Daily Creating Group, which you are invited to join. That link is in the comments below as well. I'm going to make some cats. How unusual is that? I thought I'd take you guys along for the journey. No drawing today. I'm just sharing painting cats. By the way, this is an awesome way to practice this question. For me, when I show up to do artwork, most of the time, my conditioned thinking, my inner critic shows up with me. When it shows up, asking the question, what would this look like if it was easy? Again, your brain starts working on it, and wow, you just start seeing how this could just be fun, or we're doing this to play, and all the heaviness can drop away. I wanted to share with you guys about the brush I use. This is a brush I've had forever. It's a Scharf, S-C-H-A-R-F-F brush. It is natural sable, so it isn't a brush I purchase anymore. It's been a good brush for me, and what I've been doing lately is trying out different synthetic brushes that are sable-like, and I'm going to use some of those for today's art, and also I'll link to those below. One of those brushes is a Mimic Creative Mark Round, number 10. And I will, again, link to this below. The other one is Betty Hayway's. And I don't see any other marks on here, but I'll definitely link to this below as well. I'm going to use both these brushes and put away this old sable Scharf brush for now. And let's see how this goes. Trusty glasses. I'm using the Betty Hayway's brush to begin with. The cool thing about this brush is it's got a really nice point and it holds a lot of paint, just like the sable brush. So I can get a lot of paint in my brush, which I love to do, and come to a point with my ears, which is something I don't have the luxury of with my sable brush anymore because it's just worn out. And because it holds a lot of paint, I can keep the watercolor going on nice and smooth. It's also a little challenging with that sharp tip because if I want to go up to an edge, I've got to really watch the tip to make sure I don't go beyond the edge like this and get another mark over there. So that's just not something I'm used to, so we'll see. Okay, that was the Betty Hayway's brush, synthetic. Feels like sable, but it's synthetic. And now I'm going to use the Mimic brush by Creative Mark. Both of these are a size 10. And I like to work with a big brush, and that's a fairly large size brush. Again, this brush comes to a really nice point and let's see how it does going on. This is a nice soft brush. It's a little softer than the other brush, which makes it a little easier for me to control it. Another little tip, when you're using a single color, make sure you mix up enough to get the whole cat so you don't have to go back and mix again, which I did not do. I'm really running out of this color, which is unfortunate. Yeah, I really like this brush. I like the other one too. Okay, we got a couple cats here, and I'm keeping in mind that question, what would this look like if it was easy? And I've been painting cats for quite a while now, so this is one of those things I can paint, and it is pretty easy, but sometimes I run into technical difficulties, like using new brushes is always a challenge. But I do like both these brushes, and I do recommend them both. I think my favorite one is the Mimic brush by the Creative Mark company, and a number 10 round. So that's the brush I recommend first, and then Betty Hathaway's, which is my second recommendation. Okay, I have a lot to say in my head about this funky flower that keeps growing. It's down and there you go, and I'll keep going now. At this point, I'm going to come in with my Amolatau white acrylic paint marker, size 1 millimeter. There's one thing about this though, it has a tendency to clog, and you have to store it correctly and clean it. If you don't, it's going to clog after a couple uses. So that's pretty much the way most white pens work in my experience. Maybe there's some that are better than this, but this is the one I like. I will link to it below. And I use the Staedtler Permanent Lumicolor black ink pen, and I use a size S. That's linked below as well. So I'm overworking these eyes, and usually what I do is I do a circle of white and do a black dot in the middle for the pupil. But I found with the Molotow white acrylic paint marker that if you draw over it with this Staedtler permanent Lumicolor pen, the pen mark is shiny, which I don't love, so sometimes I'll try to do an eye where it's looking to the side, and when I do that I'm trying to draw the white around where the black will be, and that's pretty challenging and can be kind of frustrating. And then the question comes up, what would this look like if it was easy? And that just gets my brain going another way, and I just keep playing with it. And you know, all in all, no matter how this piece turns out, it's just for fun. It's just to play. And I don't have to follow those trains of thought that want to take me down the "you suck as an artist" train of thought. So anyway, I'm back to it. Let's see, I'm getting close to being done here, and we'll see how the rest turns out. One last attempt to try to fix these eyes. Well, the eyes didn't turn out how I wanted, and if I wanted to, I could bring it into Photoshop and play with it and clean it up a little bit. What usually happens is I look back at it later and I'm really okay with it. It's just in the process of doing it, I have these triggered, conditioned thoughts that want to call it a problem and want to make it mean something about me, neither of which are things I have to listen to. So again, I'm going to recommend that Struthless video and the questions. The one I'm focusing on is, what would this look like if it was easy? And for the rest of the afternoon, I am going to get back to working on my book and continue to be with that question in my mind so that the art that I'm creating is a pleasurable experience rather than me trying too hard. So that's all I have for you today. I hope you're having a really creative day and you keep this question in mind and see how it works for you. And when it slips your mind and you get back into some old conditioned thinking, just ask yourself again, what would this look like if it was easy? I'll talk to you soon. Take care.